Literally, like, when's the last time we had orcs like this? Gritty, dirty, grr, orcs, you know? Like, yeah, there was the Orc Heritage campaign, which was pretty good, all things considered. But even then, that just felt like a peaceful return to the land type of thing, which was cool. Like, it was still cool and, like, reigniting the traditions. But I don't know, something about, like, you know, gritty, ruthless orcs is something I miss. Like, it's something like, you know, I still read a lot of the Warcraft novels, and, you know, reading them, I just get this, like, picture of, like, orcs the way they should be in my head. Like, Thrall being, like, you know, a respectable leader, but he still, like, wasn't everyone's best friend and the humans and stuff. He was still, like, you know, for the orcs, for the people, and now it's all kind of like, oh, you know, for everybody. Dude, this is literally still my favorite cinematic to this day for a reason. I still go back and watch this all the time because it still gives me chills. It is so good. It is like, when I think of Warcraft, this is it. This is Warcraft. Like, and the expansion sucked. I'm not trying to sit here and say, oh, Warlords of Draenor was actually good. No, it was not. But, like, it sold so well for a reason. Because this is what people expect and want from World of Warcraft. Like, I find myself so, like, not involved with the story of Dragonflight. Like, yeah, I keep up on it, but it's like, it's just not that cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's missing that, like, you know, Razagath was cool, and the Primalists were just kind of, you know, standard bad guys, but I don't know, nothing has felt like I care that much what's happening this expansion. Like, the gameplay aspects is freaking amazing. Like, great, like, probably gonna be the best expansion ever. You know, because it's the gameplay that matters more at the end of the day. But the story, I mean, like, you know, like, the Blue Dragonflight stuff was cool, but even that, I hate to say it, but it had me, like, kind of snoozing. I don't know, it felt like it dragged on too long. Maybe, am I the only one who thought that? Even, for some reason, Miss Pandaria, even though thematically it was completely different, it still felt Warcrafty, right? Like, I remember the introduction quest for the Alliance, going into the Jade Forest. Dude, you literally were in a fucking helicopter, in a turret gun, like, shooting down orcs. That was so fucking cool. Like, you literally, like, at the orcs, dude. At the Horde. And it felt so good. Like, it was like, I miss that war. And it was something that even Battle for Azeroth couldn't capture. Like, it was a literally faction war expansion, and it somehow managed to not feel like a real faction war. Like, I'd say, like, the only thing story-wise that I liked about BFA was the Varrock Sarfang storyline. Like, that arc was so good. And it felt so Warcrafty. Like, man, the cinematic where he went to Nagrand to see Thrall was, like, reignited that love for Warcraft in me. That was, like, slowly dwindling from that expansion. Like, oh, man, I miss this. I really do. And that's why I still play Classic, because it gives me that feeling that's missing with retail WoW, and has been missing since Shadowlands. Actually, hell, since BFA, other than the Sarfang stuff. But, like, it's not that the Dragonflight cinematic was bad, it was good, but it wasn't super hype. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, oh, hype, you know? Like that's literally with any other video game. If you watch the trailer and you're like, you're not gonna play it, right? It's all about the hook, right? You gotta hook people in. Like, the only thing the cinematic had going for it was, like, at the very end when the dragons swoop in and, like, they're all like, Azeroth will heal. It felt good. Like, it felt like a way of them saying, like, you know, There's been a lot of shit that's happened, and now we're ready to heal from that and settle down, which, you know, I'd say was pretty cool, but yeah, the Mop cinematic was pretty mid. And again, I don't think Mop sold that well. And again, there's a reason for it. People were like, oh, Kung Fu Panda? What the fuck? And then that was it. They didn't care. That was why Mop was like mid sales-wise, even though it was a fantastic expansion. But you know what I mean? Like the expansion, I don't ever go back and watch it. Okay, this might be a hot take. I think the BFA cinematic was cringe. I do. I think it was so cringe. It was just like, yeah, like, because I still don't take Sylvanas seriously as a leader, or like I didn't at the time. So when she was like, for the Horde, and all the orcs got up and yeah, it didn't vibe with me. I'm like, why are they rallying with her? She's not a true Horde leader, right? And then Anduin was still like a new king, so it was like, again, it was just kind of like cringe. I don't know. Like, it was cool, but I didn't like it. I don't go back and watch it ever, really, because it's just, to me, it's not that cool. And I think that's a bit of a hot take, because I think a lot of people like this expansion. Or, sorry, not expansion, cinematic. Like, I don't think there should be, like, a world-ending villain every expansion. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they could do, because I guess it's kind of either you have a world-ending villain or not. And then you get things like Dragonflight, which is good. Good expansion, but, like, it's hard to market, I guess. I don't know. But at the end of the day, like, I think what it's really about is, like, we just need those core Warcraft themes, right? Stop trying to do new things. Just stick to what works with Warcraft, you know? You know, I'm not opposed to new things, but, like, you know, it's clear, like, with things like the Jailer, that new things don't always work, right? So, I mean, maybe it means a million different Burning Legion expansions, Scourge expansions, Old God expansions, whatever. I don't care. I mean, hell, if we literally just had a rotation of, like, Old God expansion, Scourge expansion, Legion expansion, Old God expansion, Legion expansion, Scourge expansion, I'd honestly be pretty okay with that. It would give some variety. It'd be like, okay, all the old gods are back. Okay, now the Burning Legion. But then it's kind of believability of the story, too. It's like, how many times are they going to keep coming back? It's tough. It's tough, like with an MMO. You know, you've got to always have... I mean, but then again, they could literally just do time skips. Oh, it's been 3 years since that expansion, 5 years since that expansion. Oh, now we have a 7-year gap, right? And I don't know. Moral of the story, Dragonflight could be cooler story-wise. And we need core Warcraft themes back. So, yeah.